Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. You're watching Splash Pages, powered by the Dorkin Podcast Network. We have an awesome show scheduled for you today. I just noticed my hair is fucked up. So we're going to be talking about new comics. The new trailer for SpiderVerse dropped. A lot of awesome stuff going on. Plus, we got some cool books of the week for our comic book club. But as always, the Velvet Joker. How's it going, bud?
Hey guys, it's me, your man, Velvet J. Now, I just walked in the door 5 minutes ago, so if I look a little more exhausted than usual, I apologize. But we're going to have a great holiday, festive type show, so have a holly jolly podcast? Sounds
Joker,
good.
man.
Mr. Drew.
I'm just stoically waiting for this to pass so we can start the show. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're here. Jeremy, you're on.
Jar Jar.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm going to use my big fat head to block the light behind me so I don't wash out my face. Isn't that great?
Nice.
We need to
I just can't stand it with the room dark. I really need to, because with the room dark, I start to pass the F out and, I want to stay awake for you guys.
Well, that's what caffeine's for.
Nothing. So we could turn this from a podcast to a napcast real quick. So I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good. So, guys, we are literally... It is getting closer and closer to the holiday. I want to say I'm very excited. But before we get to the holly and jolly on the DC corner, we have a lot of nerd news to discuss. So who wants to go first, kids?
Spider Cop's canon.
What?
Okay, so Leo, this is Lord of the Flies. You have the conch. So
The new
Way to drop the lead, Leo.
we can back it. Right?
No, it's all good, man. You
okay.
Let it go, so let it
So,
fly.
so did everybody see the trailer?
Yes.
Yes.
Honestly, that's a great trailer. It
I
gives you
teared up.
just enough what you need to see.
I'm sorry. His mom.
Well,
Yeah.
you're very sentimental lately, Jeremy. So that's fine.
I am. I feel
Yeah,
like
he's got
feel
his
like
little
I'm
talk
going
with his
through
mom going on, and
menopause.
we see the whole SpiderVerse, and we see our man Spider-Man 2099. Which,
Yeah. Rich, and I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm really curious because it looks like Miguel is the villain, or like something like that. So I'm kind of interested to see what angle, because I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and she was saying that she feels it was kind of probably one of those things where Miles maybe does something and then sets something in motion, and the others are trying to stop him from, one of those
Kind of
things.
like when Peter goes to Doctor Strange and says, "Hey, can you make it so nobody remembers who I am again?"
Basically. So,
well,
Hey, look-
Drew, our interview at Rhode Island Comic-Con with Rick Leonardi, he did drop a little bit of stuff, but he said there was a lot that he couldn't talk about. So, I guess we're
it's
going to
true. It's true, and I still can't believe that he literally just read a Sony email. Leo, you're glitching again.
Something wrong with the Matrix.
Uh-oh, Leo's going into the Spider-Verse.
I
What's
know,
up?
I know.
What's up, Dingle?
Oh,
Leo's got the spider glitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I was listening very carefully, Drew. I mean, I think he only said one thing, Miguel O'Hara, but it did definitely sound like Oscar Isaac. So
It totally did. But
yeah.
I'm really excited regardless. I mean, this is going to be a highly anticipated sequel, and the question being, as always with a sequel, is can you surpass the original while
Or at
still
least
being...
hit what the original hit. 'Cause
Yeah.
the original, I was skeptical going in.
And it blew everything away.
Yeah.
It
I
rocked.
was for a cartoon from
I
Marvel.
couldn't cook.
I was shocked.
Well, the thing that really, for me, what I really liked is one is just you had every version of Spider-Man was really true to the version in its own way. And honestly, I really dug the music. I thought the music, Leo, you're still glitching, man. Like, God, we're going to bring you back to your Earth. I swear to freaking God, my man.
What is
The
it?
music,
666?
yeah. Well, why do you think he's so hooked on? I knew it. Leo's Mephisto. I knew it.
Ginger.
That's what
He's
it is.
trying to pull the Kingpin back in from the first movie.
But back to what I was saying, the music, man. I mean, I thought the music for the movie was so great, and how it tied in to the scenes, like the "What's Up Danger" scene, choreographed it. It was just so fucking good. So that's
just heads up. The official synopsis actually gives us a little brief look into what's actually happening, why they're fighting.
Okay, go for it.
So Miles Morales returns for the next chapter of the Oscar-winning SpiderVerse saga, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence.
Okay.
So it sounds like the spider people are in charge of protecting the multiverse. So, but when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders and must redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves most.
Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Leo. That was wonderful.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. All right.
They're
So
gonna be trying to like destroy his universe in hopes to save the rest of the universes, and therefore he has to save his mother and family from being taken away.
Well, listen. We've seen things like that happen. I mean, incursions. We've seen that, so you never know. Universes
sounds like the reverse of when Spock gave up, the lives of one for the lives of many when he died in the reactor. But it sounds like this is the reverse of that. So hey.
Yeah. Leo, what other news did you have, or did you want us to kind of go around and we come back to you?
Well, I just wanted to say, so they mentioned Spider Cops found in the trailer. And also
what is Spider Cop, Leo? What are you talking about?
He's a Spider-Man who's also a cop. Spider Cop.
Is that like in like your favorite multiverse story or something, Leo?
No. I'm pretty sure it's from the game.
Okay.
And matter of fact, the Insomniac Spider-Man is also in the trailer as well.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what else did you have, Leo?
Well, I know Jar Jar is really, really excited for this, but IDW has announced today.
Bastard.
Jar Jar, move your big head back in the way. There you go. Oh,
sorry.
Perfect.
So
trying to pick a third story for a favorite.
So IDW is rebooting the Saturday morning adventures of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh boy.
In comic book form.
Okay.
Yeah. So it returns in a 4-issue IDW miniseries later in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah. So it says 1983, 6 unsuspecting. So this is officially from IDW.
Okay.
6 unsuspecting kids boarded a magical roller coaster and were transported to the Forgotten Realms, much to the awe and wonder of millions of children every Saturday morning. In celebration of the 40th anniversary.
Oh, we're old.
Yeah, holy
Thanks.
shit. IDW will bring back the heroes of this cartoon classic in March with the new 4-issue comic book miniseries, Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures, a thrilling lost episode charting new territory in a world of D&D by writers David Boer, Sam Maggs from Rick and Morty Ever After, and artist George Cambadais from John Carter of Mars. Sure.
Names are really not your thing.
Sorry. It goes on, but yeah, I'll stop there. Yeah, definitely check out IDW for more information. But yeah, it looks like the original characters are returning from the cartoon. It's gonna be
Okay.
exciting. Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be
All
cool.
right. Well, Jeremy, what do you have?
Well, that. Kevin Conroy, his final role as Batman is dropping soon. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Wait. Huh?
What? Huh?
Oh, his final role as Batman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His
Yes.
final role.
I don't know if we're gonna get to
Well,
hear
not
him
his
again.
final role.
I don't know if it's his final role because I don't know if he did anything more for Revelations, and I don't know what else.
This is reportedly the final role. I guess maybe we could say his final video game.
Or his final Batman role, right?
I guess. I mean,
Possibly. At the very least, his final Batman video game.
yeah, at least that we can say. Can we say that, Leo? Because
For sure.
Yeah. So upcoming, he's listed. Yeah, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. He is voicing Batman.
Yeah.
Batman the Caped Crusader. He was scheduled to voice Batman and Bruce Wayne, so I don't know what's going to happen there. But he's only slated for one episode.
Oh, okay. Well,
and then Relatively Super, he plays Wade Brewster Eclipse.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
But do you have anything of him doing another season of Masters of the Universe?
He only has 3 things which are upcoming.
okay. Well,
It's too bad.
indeed. So
Did he,
all right.
did he do something previously on Masters of the Universe?
Yeah,
Jar Jar?
he was Merman.
Oh.
He's listed as Hordak.
Hordak?
Yep.
No. I thought he voiced Merman. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. Don't move your head though, because we're gonna get a big.
Ooh. Okay, hold on.
Yes, Leo?
2020,
Hordak hasn't been seen yet.
2021, he voiced Merman.
Yeah.
There you go.
It says 2022, he voiced Hordak.
Okay.
Or
So you're both right. There you go.
But that's slated for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, not
Oh,
He-Man.
for the kids show.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know he was doing a voice in that one. I got to check that out too now.
One episode.
There you go.
Only one episode.
Yeah.
You gotta
Okay.
get the little bits and pieces that you
I'm
can.
redoing the entire first series.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So what-
enjoying the hell out of it.
So what else do you have, Jeremy?
Oh, I have more. I have Superman 78 and Batman 89 are now the same Earth.
Oh, great.
They are because of Dark Crisis Big Bang #1, which is slated to drop today or tomorrow. I thought it was Wednesdays, but
DC has moved to Tuesdays.
oh, so I could pick up my poll today?
Wait,
I
so
did not
Jeremy,
know
did
that.
78 go to 89 or did 89 go to 78?
I think 78 went to 89 because
so
that would make more
spoiler.
sense than Superman. Oh,
Spoiler, I'm going to show you the actual page.
oh, damn you! It's
They lose a decade?
So they're calling it Earth 789.
that's
Wow, that's
clever.
Okay.
So in the panel is showing 89 Batman with the Joker, which I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he died too.
And I'm going to move away from that because I don't want anybody to see anything else.
Right.
So in the back of it, it lists from the notes of Barry Allen. So he's charting all the extra Earths.
Right.
And Earth 789 says Superman and Supergirl are Earth's only powered superheroes. Batman's parents killed by the Joker. Superman 78, Batman 89.
Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense. You know, honestly, I always kind of imagined that those two, and Linda Carter's Wonder Woman were all the same Earth.
Yeah, I thought Wonder Woman would be there too.
You know,
And
Well,
maybe
what-
even Flash.
what-
What's his
wouldn't-
name? Flash.
Wouldn't Wonder Woman be Earth 66?
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of
But she was
classic.
70s, wasn't she? I don't know.
And listen, does either way. I'm just saying, I always kind of imagine that. So maybe somebody down the line. Well, come on, guys. This
Is there an
fun.
Earth
Look at-
66?
There is.
Multiverse, anything can happen.
So I was going to get to that. He visits Earth 66 in this issue as well. And Earth 66, Batman and Robin face exceptionally benign villains.
Oh no.
What does that mean? Instead of the Riddler, it's the Puzzler.
Benign are so the
Condiment King.
Very much lacking any credibility.
benign is an adjective. Gentle and kindly.
Gently and kindly bad guys. That's very confusing.
Yeah, and Sergio, you're gonna have to check with Kevin. I do not know. He runs his own show.
Okay. So both of them, same Earth. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. And Supergirl, they're making that canon as well.
Okay. There's still a chance. All right. So what else, Jeremy?
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, a possible sequel can be in the works for Batman Spawn, according to Todd McFarlane.
Yes. The pre-orders did really well from what
Yes, he says they've laid plenty of little seeds throughout the Batman Spawn that's dropping today, I guess.
Yeah. And honestly, I was reading a little bit about that, and they teased, I believe, what could be a cosmic Talon. And I was like, what?
So when does this drop?
This today or
week.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
This week, Rich.
And it's just,
Oh.
if I remember correctly, it's just
Hold
a
on.
one shot, right?
Hold
Yeah,
on, I thought you
it's-
said DC drops on Tuesdays now, Leo.
Is it DC?
Well, yeah.
Then it's probably today then. So I have the variant covers, which look.
Which one
totally-
did you
Wait,
pick up?
you- wait.
I haven't decided if I'm only getting one or if I'm gonna go silly.
Leo, did you get the Jason Fabok cover?
I'm gonna ask for it. It does look
Oh, it looks
friggin' phenomenal. Where is it?
I definitely want one of the
Uh,
Calico covers.
No, but yeah, I saw it because I follow him on Instagram, and I saw it. I was like, that is right there.
Yep.
Look at that. That is gorgeous. It
Which
is
one, the left or the right?
left.
Left.
The left one. Gorgeous.
Yeah. Left. Right is Greg Capullo.
Yeah. Listen, Greg, listen. Very few people really define Spawn like Greg did. So I don't care whatever the cover is, it's still dope.
Yeah, he uses dark and light very well, even though there's not as much activity as the one on the left. It's still beautiful.
He also does capes really well.
Yeah.
I think that's why he was so good with Batman and the capes, because he'd been drawing them for Spawn for so long. Nice. Leo, I would, if you can get the Faba cover, totally do it. That's just gorgeous.
Yeah. The and then the variant cover by Greg Capullo, Todd McFarlane, and Brian Hamberlin.
Is that the one on the left?
Correct.
Yeah, it is pretty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, I think, and it's also very invoking, the first book.
I like that a lot too.
Which
Who's
one?
that
Yeah, which one's
on the left again?
Variant cover by Francesco.
Let's go, Matina.
Yeah.
Francisco.
And is that Raphael? Is that Sean Murphy?
Sean Murphy on the right.
Mm.
Wow, that's
White Knight,
great.
right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he does great work. It's so him and Raphael Albuquerque. Their styles are very similar. I get them confused, but they're still both great. I mean, that's the thing. I'm never really the biggest fan of variants, but just because there's sometimes so many.
Batman.
But all these are gorgeous. But it's like, wow, it's really nice, but I wouldn't. But the Fabok cover, if I can't get the original, I'd get the Fabok cover. Now I got to definitely check out my comic book store this week, because I definitely got to get that. Okay.
Oh, hey,
Awesome.
actually, Leo,
Yes, sir.
I sent you a list of back issues that I needed for Batman that are from this present series, the third volume. Does your you go to Sarge's still, right?
Correct.
Do they have any back issues of this? Because I'm missing like 10 issues now.
Hey, Jeremy,
I'd
I think Drew meant any more news, not any
Oh,
more.
oh,
How
oh.
did you want to check in with Leo on your comic situation?
Oh, sorry.
Carrie says, "Hey folks, oh wow, those Spawn Batman covers are just dead sexy. Totally
No, I've
agree,
got no
Carrie."
more news.
Hell yeah, Carl. Dead XEXXXX. Why?
So, Drew, I think that's it for Jeremy. What you got on the plate, my friend?
Wait, one more second. Is that? Oh, that's a J. Scott Campbell cover.
Yeah, J. Scott Campbell, and on the left is Todd McFarlane and FCO.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally Todd style.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's fine. All right, cool.
Jim Lee.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that one on the left is nice.
Well, look at that. That's gorgeous.
That's classic Jim Lee right there.
Yeah, just. But okay. Is it? I guess it's my turn.
We also
Well, speaking of Spawn, Capullo, I did read something in an interview, or at least it was hinted in an article with CBR, that Greg Capullo might be doing a brief stint at Marvel. He might be working on a Marvel project, which I believe he hinted on social media, and it's very strongly hinted that that project may involve writer Donny Cates. Donny Cates, as everybody would know, the rising star of Marvel, Thor, Venom, the King in Black series. I think he was doing Thor, and then I think he's doing Hulk. Or God, it's so hard to keep track. He's definitely just up there right now, and Capullo said that he's definitely wanted to go over to Marvel for a while now, and that Cates has definitely expressed real interest in wanting to work with him. Which, I mean, his storytelling and Capullo's art, I mean, that could be something really good. So time will tell if that's just, hot goss for the nerds to sip on, or it could be really something coming up.
I'd like to see.
Just real quick, Carrie was asking for a link. Carrie, I put a link in the chat for the Batman Spawn. That's in, as Jar Jar mentioned, it's coming straight from DC. So you can grab it from your local comic shop, or you can get it secondhand on, well, not secondhand, but I try to get them from like eBay if my LCS doesn't have them.
Drew, did they mention what they might be working on?
They didn't really say, so time
I'd love to see a Ghost Rider by Capullo.
Whoa, that would be dope. A Ghost Rider by Capullo, that would be cool.
That
or
friggin' whip chain just.
You know what? Jeremy, I'm gonna take that and I will raise you Cates and Capullo doing a Midnight Suns storyline.
Oh God. Bring
I'm talking
Blade and everybody.
I'm talking Blade. I'm talking Man-Thing. I'm talking Werewolf by Night, Morbius. I mean, come on, that would be fucking Son of Satan. Just all of that would be fucking cool. So I mean, it just again, Capullo's style is just really does well with horror.
I haven't bought anything from Marvel in a while, so this is like making me like. They haven't been on my pull list in some time.
Agreed.
What you mean you didn't want to get the 20 different versions of like Spider-Man #1?
Not again. I did that like 5 years in a row now.
Can we please not? I'm getting like I can feel like a migraine coming in just thinking about it.
Ultimate Comics Spider-Man facsimile edition came out this week.
It
number
looks
1.
good, but
it's a reprint of.
I know.
Yeah. Whatever. News-wise, there really wasn't much into new releases. I do know that yet again we're having another Iron Man issue 1. I am pretty excited because the writer is Jerry Dugan, who I'm a big fan of. I loved his work on Deadpool back in the day. He's been doing great work. Excuse me, with the X-Men lately, related titles. But he's doing Iron Man, Invincible Iron Man issue 1, and this is just continuing the downward spiral of Tony Stark. I mean, the guy's lost his wealth, he's lost his fame, he's lost his friends, but now he is the real target. So the adverts described as assassins are coming for Tony. Thus, so we will, as fans, get to see when he has truly hit, quote unquote, rock bottom. Which I'm like, okay, well, Iron Man's been down before.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's funny because I was talking about this with somebody. I was like, I don't know where we can go with some of these characters anymore. Like especially after like what Hickman's done with
Carrie says, I'm in love with Jeremy tonight for the well shit. Drew just stole it, going from GR to Rise.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Making the ladies quiver, boys. Making the ladies quiver. Just say thank you and move forward.
I love Drew. He's just
it takes me a second to sink in, and I'm just like, and we're good again. Got the groove back. No, I don't know where you can go with his characters. I mean, consider everything Hickman's done with the X-Men. Where do you go when his run ends? Like, you know, do you just break them down and then send them back to the trash heap? What do you put them in the outback? You wreck the X-Mansion again? You destroy Krakoa? Like, it's just one of those where, because they've been rebooted so many times, and there's the continuity about is as thin as a wet piece of paper. You know, I just feel like sometimes, like, what more can you do? Like, I read that part of the first beginning of that new interconnected series, Dark Web. I was like, this is fine, but I'm like, okay, so 2 clones get mad and want to unleash Inferno 2.0. I'm like, all right, well, fine, but I'm just like,
well,
what?
Maybe they're testing the waters with that extreme X-Men to see if people want that old style back again.
I guess. I
would like them to just, like, I was a big Amazing Spider-Man collector until they started rebooting and rebooting and rebooting.
Uh-huh.
Like, don't get me wrong, Superior Spider-Man was dope.
Thank you.
And I understand rebooting from there. That made sense. But then it really has been every year. 2 years. Like, I don't even think they get 2 years.
And then they always jump back to the original numbering just so they
the legacy.
Just so they can get this is the 650th mega size $10. Yeah, I'm just like,
and when we're just rehashing the same stories again, when like suddenly really Spider-Man has a Tony Stark type company, he's a genius and a millionaire, and then he loses it all. I'm like, Jesus Christ! And then Batman, and he loses it all. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys, come on.
Yeah, and it's just, it's just one of those.
That's why I'm so excited for the crossover.
Yeah, it's just nice to see new things in comics. That's my thing. That's why I stick to things I know that are still good. Like you all know my love for Hellboy. There's so much with Hellboy being in existence since the 50s to the end, which I've read. There's so many stories you can tell. There's never you can't tell that story. Why not? He was an active duty for over 50 fucking years. Like, he was busy. He went through a lot of shit. Like, you can tell anything, and there's still stories to tell, and it's just, it's still entertaining. And I just feel a lot of modern comics just don't hold my attention the way that older comics did. But that's just.
Well, we did get new stuff. Batman last week, we found out he can survive a fall from space.
Yeah, I mean, That is
What we've
something
known for a
else.
long time. Anything with preparation, Leo. Anything with preparation.
But he had no preparation.
Preparation H.
Preparation. Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Get out.
Bing, 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 bing.
No, I don't. Again, I don't want to sound like a bitter nerd, just standing on my soapbox, griping about the good old days.
No, I'm with you, Drew.
I mean, there's some good stuff. We've picked up some stories on this podcast from like the last 10 years that have been great. And we've definitely gone through this. There's great stories, there's okay stories, and there's just I just move on from them. So what are you going to do? Not everything is for everyone, and we are not the market for every book.
It's true. And I just feel what I'd like is that a year or two, the big two just stopped the intercompany crossovers and just focused on their individual storylines. Kind of like what the MCU did for their properties. You have everybody there, and then you bring them together.
The problem with that, though, is when they try to do, new characters, you get so much backlash from the comic gators. Like they tried to, give Damian his own series in Robin. And then the comic gators, I think he ended up being bi or something like that. And the comic gators like shut it down, and they canceled that series. Same thing with the son of Kal-El.
Yeah.
But there's not only is there that, Leo, but there's
that's
a fair amount,
actually
especially
going
with
on.
like Superman and Batman. There's just so many titles that it's just too much, and it's
Son of Kal-El.
if there is an excuse to shut it down, and there's a slight spike or unspike, if you will, in sales, then they're quick to cancel and not give the writers a chance to work that out.
Work that out, or at least end the story.
Yeah. Jar Jar, what were you saying?
Oh, Son of Kal-El is actually being continued into Adventures of Superman. They were figuring the name just needed something more than to be represented as the son of Superman.
From what I understand, Son of Kal-El is going to turn out, from the story I read, it's not Superman's son.
Time travel.
And the actual son of Kal-El has been in like hibernation and is actually still a kid.
Really? Oh my God.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I read.
So we're getting a second clone? Another Superboy clone?
I don't know if he's from another
I'm sorry. I'm reading my Superman bingo cards. I'm just trying to get where it goes. It's a shape-shifting alien.
You knew something was going to happen when the last crisis and
it's Brainiac.
Everything was all merged.
That was my next yell out. Brainiac.
It's the Legion of Superheroes version of Superboy. Because in the future, we do not give a shit about sexuality anymore.
Actually, if you're
the
talking
return
about
of Superboy Prime.
Ooh.
Wow. What a dark day that will be. Oh, that guy sucked. He was such an asshole.
Even more than the Superboy from the 90s or 80s.
Oh, wait, was that
the TV show? The TV show.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't remember that
Superboy TV show from the 90s.
Yeah, it's either late 80s or 90s. There was went on for a couple seasons.
It was bad.
Matter of fact, I think they changed characters.
Show?
No, before that.
He was such a little bitch.
Yeah, it was like a high school drama type. It wasn't Smallville. It wasn't Smallville.
I didn't even start watching Smallville till the final 3 or 4 seasons. I felt so bad about that. Like I missed out so much on that.
It's okay.
I was just like, it's a teeny bopper Superman.
Now when I rewatch Smallville, I'm just gonna think, I've seen that man slap my friend's butt. That man has tickled me in a very affectionate way.
A little bit more than that, but
I didn't realize Tom Welling has
love is love.
I didn't realize Tom Welling has a new show.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Yeah, where he's some
Strong guy?
no, it's like a military.
Oh.
He's some vet or something like that. But Tom Welling actually has a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum.
yes.
Going over Smallville episode by episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's all the news I had. So I am, unless anyone has anything else that we want to talk about, I am ready to get into the holiday season, my guys.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Leo, there was something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Something very unifying, perhaps robotically.
That is cool. I saw that earlier while looking for news.
Voltron.
No.
Oh, that's what you meant by Voltron.
Yeah, it's not the Voltron that we know. I have no idea.
Ah.
Okay.
But you see, you got the Flash symbol. You have it's like a
Was I
mixture of
talking about
Flash, Green
Voltron?
Lantern, Superman.
Oh, Rich. Yeah.
Okay.
DC Comics Dark. So it's from DC Comics Dark Knights Metal story.
Oh wow. Okay.
Metal.
Well, earlier, Jeremy, he announced that He-Man is better than Thundercats.
Yes.
And I said, well, Voltron's better than both of them, but we both agree it's got to be the Tiger Voltron.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, the Lion.
Lions.
What do you think, Drew?
I'm going to trump you both and just say Mighty Mouse will beat you all. Bam.
Oh.
Boom. That's my wild card.
Leo, any input?
Here I come to save the day.
All right, it's a Mighty Mouse world.
Mighty Mouse and friends are on their way.
Actually, what were the two crows?
Heckle and Jekyll?
Heckle and Jekyll beat all.
Bam.
Wow.
There you go, everybody. You heard it here.
Right. Magpies rule the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a murder.
Anyway, jingle bells, DC all the way.
So I know we've been trying to gravitate towards not just gravitating away from, but I know we haven't been focusing a lot on the big two. But I found these issues to be so cute and just wonderfully short enough to be entertaining. And honestly, when I recommended this to you guys,
I was so sad about how short the demon issue was.
But honestly, I thought that these were great. I felt like there were favorites for everybody, and I had discovered this when I was working. Still working with Screen Rant. I was looking for article ideas, and somebody had done one a story, and I was like, "Oh, what's this from?" And I read one or two of these, and I was like, "Wow, these are great." So I figured, hey, we could just look through them, and we could talk about our faves, and I don't know, take it a little chill. It's a stressful season. We all can just relax and be nerdy. So.
Drew, I found this fascinating, especially this first one here. I don't know if Leo can blow up that left page, but the names on these books is insane on this first issue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Writers and artists.
The talent. Really. The talent for all three of them.
It was
fantastic. I couldn't believe it myself.
Especially for the time they were coming out, like Jurgens and Breeding together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like it was really nice to see those yesteryear comic telling. So I will say this. I have three favorites in this one. But I will go last because I was the one who recommended it. So, but first, I want to know what you guys thought, of course, because as always, nothing will ever beat when we were reviewing Next Wave and Leo just started with Drew, what the fuck? that is still like my favorite. You did good, kid.
Well,
comment.
I always go with what makes me emotional, and a High Father Christmas hit me right in the feels.
That is one of my favorites. Yeah, that was pretty.
It was just great, like unexpected. Like, why is High Father and Orion just walking around, chilling? They're like,
during Christmas time on Earth, right?
Yeah, and they get mistaken as friggin' Santa. I'm like, oh, okay, that's where we're all right. And yeah, by the time when he said that little girl's name, I was just like, oh, dude, oh.
The High Violet Christmas was really short. I thought it was really cute. It kind of reminded me of A Miracle on 34th Street a little bit. That was, oh God, that was just wonderful, especially at the end. You know, everyone's so happy, and
Yeah,
the manager decides to stop being a jackass and be in the season.
He's
And
part-
you know, they're all like, "All right, cool, we out. Santa's gone. Bam." Okay, stop, Leo. Stop. Back up.
yeah.
I said, "Oh my God."
One episode back, Leo. The
Yeah,
demon.
no,
There you go.
Satan's little helper,
Yeah.
Ty
That was just great.
Templeton, has always been one of my favorite subtle artists. I always felt like he's on the same wavelength as Batman animated series. He's got that simple style that really would fit in that realm. This was just so fucking cute. I mean, what a
100%
clever
agree.
way for Etrigan to screw someone over.
And 2 pages.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just done. I'm
Done.
like, oh.
And then I'm not gonna lie, the last story in this, I thought Rich would really appreciate the Kyle Rayner
story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is a great story, despite the fact that I was raised as a Jew. I don't really celebrate any religion right now, but we still do have Hanukkah and Christmas in the house because it's the holiday season, and just like participating in that kind of fun. But not only is it a Hanukkah story written by DC, which I feel is pretty rare for the most part, it's really a decent story. And they write Kyle really well, very gallant, very educated about other religions. And, you had to kick some white nationalist ass. And, that's what you got to do these days.
That's always fun to watch.
I mean, I think the thing being is, for me, was really interesting is when I first read this, I really didn't know much out of Kyle besides the occasional thing. Now I've read his entire Green Lantern run, and I definitely felt that the writers were very, they definitely kept within his character, and it was,
it's the worst outfit for a Green Lantern.
It's super respectful, and at one point he meets a woman, or he's sort of being set up, and he thinks she's pretty cute, and then he finds out not only are they going to temple together, but she's the rabbi. He's totally unaffected, and that really just showed strength of character and strength of the writer that wrote this particular story.
Yeah,
they did a great job.
Oh yeah, totally. And then on top of it, the lantern working despite having literally no charge. Exactly. And Kyle, who he's a Green Lantern, he's seen shit that most people haven't. He can't explain it, so you have that
a moment of faith, the Hanukkah miracle.
Exactly. So it was just. It was really great. And then I got to say the Batman story at the end with Alfred was cute.
That was.
But
a little sad but cute.
Also, I just have to say one more thing. The Flash story was really cute. He spends all that time trying to find the perfect present for his wife under like 10 minutes, and then he realized all she wanted was for him to listen more.
Exactly.
I was like, yeah, that sounds like Wally West in the 90s.
But I got to say, guys, I thought that Batman, that Alfred story, I thought that was really sad for Alfred.
Yeah.
I mean, they all gave him something, but it's like, yeah, I take care of everybody, and I just get presents and fucked over, and I'm by myself. At least that's the way I read it.
I guess. I mean, I can kind of see your point, Rich. But Leo, which ones were your favorites in this one?
I just want to read the card real quick. Alfred, Dad, and I are off to the Caribbean for the holidays. I'll send you a postcard and some coconuts. Take care and Merry Christmas. Love, Tim.
Yep. Early Tim Drake.
Yep. My favorite, I mean, definitely the Flash one, anybody in a relationship, this definitely hits. But I have to say my favorite one is the first one, the Superman one.
Oh, you really did?
Yeah, I really, I mean, This one gave me a little PTSD from the holiday seasons, working retail. The Father Orion one. But yeah, the Superman one where even Superman needs had
somebody to relate to.
Yeah, well, somebody to spend time with for the holidays, and they're just holding the bomb together at the end.
Yeah, that would be nice. So honestly, it was a like. I really wish they did more of these, or like something like this, because it was simple, very still true to the character, and like Rich and Jeremy both said, I mean, just a gathering of such wonderful talent. It was just a who's who of really popular, prominent artists at the time. So that's the first one, everybody. Now let's go to the second book.
Well, real quick, let's not go ahead yet. Number one, let's not take away from that Catwoman story, which was a good one for the feels too.
Oh yeah.
And I also wanted to mention in the Orion and Highfather story, Drew, you may have to educate me a bit, because I always known Walt Simonson as only only being an artist. I wasn't aware that he wrote stories as well. Am I being foolish, or is that more rare?
No. Walt has spent a lot of time as an artist, but he definitely did spend some time as a writer. So a lot of the times, like he said, he's just been the art. But no, he's been a writer sometimes as well. It's just I think it was fewer and far between.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a more rare thing. All right, awesome. Because I mean, it was a great story, and anything with Walt makes my heart sing. So
yeah, he has a really good understanding of humanity.
And the art was Sal Buscema.
Yeah, so. I know. Sal. There's a reason Sal was one of the greats. His ability to draw faces and emotion, and just portray energy. It's just so good. Like, there's a reason he was a prominent and still well remembered.
Is pretty prominent.
Yeah,
in comics. Even his niece is doing comics now.
Mm-hmm. And then the Catwoman story was still pretty good as well. It's always nice to see her purple suit era. I always had a soft spot for that. I didn't mind.
Hated it.
Shut up, Jeremy. Didn't mind when Darwin Cook and Ed Brubaker redesigned her back in the early 2000s. But I mean, still, it's always nice to see. Sure.
She fakes a woman's death to get her away from the mob.
I don't forget she gives away her score, so pay off the debts. I was like, aw.
So real quick, I want to go over the stories real quick, and I think we should do this just to pay homage to each of the artists. So the Superman story, The Benefaction of Peace, Barry Jamieson was the writer, Graham Nolan was the penciler, Joseph Rubinstein the inker, Jason Wright the colorist, and Albert de Guzman was the letterer. Highfather Christmas, like you mentioned, Walter Simonson was the writer, Sal Buscema was the artist. Bearing Gifts, We Traverse Afar, the Catwoman story. Denny O'Neil was the writer.
Yeah.
Jesse Delperdang was the penciler.
I'm sorry. I'm like 12.
So immature.
Satan's Little Helper, the Demon story. Ty Templeton was the writer, artist, and letterer.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a beast, doing everything.
The Vessel, the Green Lantern story. Michael Jan Friedman was the writer, and Roger Robinson was the penciler. Just Another Night, the Batman story. Jim Aparo was the writer and penciler.
Yeah.
And, Present Tense, the Flash story. Brian Augustine and Mark Wade were the writers.
Yeah.
Rest in peace for Brian.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Please, rest in peace for him and Denny.
Yeah.
And Jim, too. Yeah.
And Paul Ryan was the penciler.
Yeah.
Dick Giordano was the inker.
Wow.
We just saw him recently.
Talk about a legend.
Seriously. But yeah,
we didn't even mention the Lois end saving that guy's life. in the Superman story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that one's great. So, Leo, roll the next one, please.
Roll that beautiful beam comic.
Whatever that means.
Okay, so DCU Holiday Bash number 2 from 1998. The first one was 96.
Yes.
Why is this 98? Why does that say 98?
Let's just
Uh,
go with it, yo.
my
I want to go first this time. I want to go first. I know what my favorite was.
Go for it.
Go for it, Rich.
Santa entering Darkseid's world and
Oh,
fucking
yes.
The present tense.
yes, it was so awesome. It was incredible. It was a very short story, where basically some guy comes into Darkseid's lair and he's like, we've got him he's within the vicinity.
Where is
And
it?
Darkseid blasts the guy. And he's like, where is he? Where is he? And he's like, he's in the room. And Santa just walks up and gives him a big lump
The
of coal.
art on that one back.
Just great fun story.
100%.
And knowing that Santa gets one over on Darkseid, and he's like, don't let him leave the planet. And he's like, see you next year.
Yeah.
So fun. So fun.
Absolutely.
Just
That's
hands
one
him a piece of coal. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. And again, he did Ty just gets 2 pages. He tells so much in 2 pages.
Yeah.
You know, just fucking amazing. So just going through the present, which had Kyle Rayner and Connor Hawke, who, as we all know, was the Green Arrow who filled in while his father, Oliver Queen, was dead. I thought it was an okay story. I enjoy their bromance.
A lot.
Especially I like how, you know, Connor is trying to talk about the meaning of the holiday, and Kyle just like, nope, fuck that, trying to find presents for everybody.
I have to say, the costume choice for Green Lantern in those days, like, I'm so glad that got updated.
And then
No.
the second story, which was the House of Peace, which is funny enough another Hanukkah related story. I enjoyed that while Batman is very much the quote unquote hero, the real hero is the little boy who brought the oil so they could light the candle for Hanukkah. I was like, just again, good storytelling there. You know, Rabbi Schwartz.
That look on Darkseid right there. It's just like,
yeah. And with Ty, I will say this with Ty's work, he definitely channels some Kirby-ness. You know, he definitely leans hard on the Kirby side.
look at that.
Yeah. And then we had 'Twas the Night Before Kwanzaa. And this is Tony Isabella coming back to write the character he helped co-create, Black Lightning. That was a great story, you know.
The art is beautiful, but I never got that thing where it's like in front of his face, like part of his outfit. I'm like, what is going on there? Another weird era choice.
Yeah, and then you have The Gift, which is another Superman story. So I know Leo loved this.
Fantastic. That one was mine.
That one was yours?
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot about that version of Lex till I saw this again.
Yeah, the redhead.
Yeah.
The
My
one
favorite
of the 90s where he had like a huge, beautiful locks of mullet. Like, my God, I
And don't forget, he kept this one. Leo, stop. This one's one of my favorites. But yeah, back in the day when Lex Luthor Kid had a red mullet and he kept transferring his consciousness into a cloned body, you know, and just playing it off as his son. This one here was one of my favorites because the ending is spectacular. Because the entire time you're watching this, you're like, why do we care about this bespectacled uniform officer at a JSA holiday bash? You know? And it's like the whole time, like, you're like, oh, I feel like I know this guy. There is one thing though that I did point out. It's actually Black Canary being in the story is a continuity error. She didn't join until after the war, so it's a small continuity error. But we won't say anything because she's just so pretty to look at. But the whole thing is so subtle. I love that the Atom got the Drap got on the Atom. And everybody works, but the real hero is our hero. And when we find out who it is, oh god, that was great. We're not going to spoil it for everybody, but just he's a big Batman ally. That's all we're going to say. Definitely somebody who enjoys a good smoke now and then. Moving on. This was unexpected. The Sergeant Rock Christmas, or A Christmas Carol. It's always weird seeing Sergeant Rock in the Easy Company because they're they're a prominent part of DC, but I feel like because they were a war comic, I feel like they're a footnote in DC history. So it's always nice to see them come back for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And this was also I was like, wow, this is a 4-page Christmas Carol because you saw the past, the present, and then you see the future.
Yep.
And I was just like, wow. Again, great storytelling.
Yeah, I'd have to say this one was my favorite. Definitely. You definitely get hit in the feels with no words whatsoever. Just
it's all imagery telling the story.
Yeah, and that's just, to me, I wish we had a few more stories that did that because I feel like that's a real testament to show how important art is to the story. And I've always been of the collaborators. Everybody plays a part. You know what I mean? And then
not only that, allowing everybody to decipher it, based off of their own, history and whatnot, just everybody can take it differently.
And then the last story, the Old Lane in this book, that was just some cute Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, holiday sweetness, Sure.
When they were on the roof was super cute.
It really was. And then the jokes, I was like, oh man, and it makes me miss when Barbara was.
Yeah, those last 2 pages that Leo had up right there could have summed up the whole story.
Yeah.
I love the next pages. I'm sorry. I was the kid back in the day that cut these out.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Electric Superman.
I hated that iteration of Superman, though. I have to say,
the red and the blue.
Yeah,
he was not a big fan of that.
So dumb.
So I will definitely say, for me, my favorites in this one were present tense. I left my heart at the Justice Society canteen, and I'm going to say the Christmas Carol, pretty great. I do feel personally that all of us will agree that present tense was our unanimous favorite in this story. That's what I'm getting at. So those 3 were my 3 favorites. What about you guys?
So just real quick, just to give the
credit where credit's due.
Yep. So the present, the Green Lantern, Green Arrow story was Devin Grayson was the writer, Will Rosado was the penciler, Sal Buscema was the inker. Christmas Carol, Sergeant Rock story, Chuck Dixon was the writer, and Russ Heath was the artist and colorist.
Wow.
The Old Lane, Nightwing and Oracle. Brian Stelfreeze was the co-plotter and penciler. Devin Grayson also co-plotter and dialogue. And Carl Story was the inker. The House of Peace, the Batman story, Chuck Dixon was the writer. And Dave Taylor was the penciler.
You got 2 out of this.
Yeah. Present tense. Oh my God. Ty Templeton was the writer and artist, colorist, and letter. Ornaments page was Rick Burchett.
Yes.
'Twas the Night Before Kwanzaa, Black Lightning story was Tony Isabella was the writer. Eddie Newell was the artist. The Gift, the Superman story, Dan Jurgens was the writer and penciler. And I left my heart at the Justice Society canteen. The JSA story. Howard Shakin was the writer, and Rick Burchett was the artist.
Yep, all great there. All
Yeah.
great. All right. I still present tense really in my mind stole the show with this one. That's just so now the last one.
Last one. So Holiday Bash number 3 from 99.
Which was a little different than in the others, I felt, which I didn't mind, but definitely a little different. I don't think there were any Ty Templeton stories this time. So I was like, oh man, come on, 3 for 3. So yeah. So
that was probably my favorite story. The cover right there. The guy, was it Slash or something like that? The character that was in jail, and he just wanted his family didn't show up for visiting days right before Christmas.
Are you talking about Shrapnel?
Shrapnel, thank you, Shrapnel.
You're welcome.
And he wanted to get home to his wife and kids, and all he wanted to do was talk to his wife and see the kids. Didn't even wake the kids up. And when the cops came knocking, he's like, "No problem, I'm good. I did what I had to do. I'm ready to go back to jail."
I thought, well, I mean, I definitely have my favorites, but each story, of course, there's something I enjoyed. Like the first one, World's Finest Christmas. I thought it was cute. Superman as a kid having a hero, but that was pretty cute.
Well, so this one was my favorite, just not because of like the overall story with the toy and everything. But just at the end, where you have Batman showing, not really showing emotion, but still, showing emotion, and Superman staying to rebuild the house,
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally,
Leo, you just love everything Superman.
It really does.
Superman and Batman, you got best of both worlds.
Really?
Yeah, that was cute. And then you had, after that one, you had the very short, still traumatizing, and I kind of thought Rich would enjoy that one, The Joker's 12 Days of Christmas.
It was fun, but it wasn't as fun as I would have liked. But the thing that I really dug about it is that Joe Stanton was involved in that one.
Oh, yeah. Love Joe.
Which reminds me, we got to reach out to him before he is no longer around.
Let's not think about that. So,
yeah, one of those legends.
I thought Heathen Ways was okay. I admittedly have never been the greatest Wonder Woman fan, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it leaned a little heavy on the context of Wonder Woman at that time, but if her and Artemis fighting as some sort of Amazonian holiday tradition, I was like, all right, cool. Let's just give the fans what they want. They want two beautiful women with swords duking at them. Like, all right, Merry Christmas, everyone.
I didn't like that car anyway.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leo. I apologize.
Oh, I didn't need that car anyway.
Yeah, right.
You didn't need the car anyway. But I did like that the writer took a different stance of something. Again, I like more original stories where the original reason that Artemis was mad at Diana was because she was still participating in Christmas, which was against their beliefs. And Artemis's side was like, well, you're weakening our gods, because the less people that believe in our gods, the weaker our gods are. So she had a good point from an Amazonian standpoint, but she just wanted to bait her into doing the battle that they did, which was obviously an Amazonian tradition, as we learned.
And then after that, the Alone for the Holidays story with Robin, that was cute. Even teen sidekicks want to celebrate Christmas, even in Gotham.
What was Jeremy's favorite story? Because I didn't hear him chiming in.
Oh, I didn't get to my favorite, but that's fine.
It's all right.
Yeah. Why don't you let Drew have his?
No,
Jeremy,
it's all good.
Why are you forcing it on me?
But
because you've been silent for a while, so I wanted to hear your.
I'm sorry, my whole internet
tones of your voice, sir.
No, Jeremy, he wanted to make sure you didn't fall asleep.
The internet dropping me out kind of befuddled me, and like I'm sitting there going, "What's going on?" All of a sudden, everything was like twirling and swirling, and I was like, "Ah!"
But Rich, I will say the story that your favorite, I thoroughly enjoyed too, because even supervillains have holidays. Just
absolutely.
He just wanted to get home for the kids. I will say this. I thought
like
that
this a lot.
Yeah.
The art for this,
The
Western there.
Yeah, the eye for a detail. Yeah, the Batlash story. I thought that was cute.
I was confused why they put that story in that one. I mean, there was no heroes in it. Nobody we knew.
Well,
it just seemed very random.
Well, Batlash was an old. Batlash was an old cowboy hero of DC, and they brought him back every once in a while. Again, you remember there was a time when westerns were the big thing in comics, so Batlash is of that era.
Sure. I wasn't aware that was an existing property.
Yeah, like around that time, you had him, you had Jonah Hex, all those guys. So
okay,
yeah, it was a cute story.
So was this the Prince Valiant of the story of the book?
Pretty much. But
you just bypass.
But I will say this though, the last one was my favorite, the Impulse Santa Claus story. That I'm a sucker for that kind of thing, and I just thought it was so cute. Bart, Max Mercury is being the parent, and he's trying to tell Bart there's no Santa Claus, so he's trying to prove to him about this, but Impulse just keeps working around and actually being very generous. And I don't know, the ending was my favorite, But
I can't see how anybody can say there's no Santa Claus. That's absolutely
and
trash.
That great image by Sergio Aragorn right there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I have to say that's I take it back. That's my favorite one out of the book.
There you go. You win.
I Mad Magazine. You can't go wrong with that.
It's true. So Leo, would you like to give credit where credit's due for this issue?
Yeah. Let me go all the way back. So hopefully nobody has epilepsy. Okay, so table of contents. World's Finest Christmas, the Superman Batman story. Carl Kessel was the writer, and Dave Taylor was the layout and artist. The Joker's 12 Days of Christmas, Chuck Dixon was the writer, and Joe Staton was the penciler. Heathen Ways, the Wonder Woman story. Eric Luke was the writer, and Cedric Nukin was the penciler. Alone for the Holidays, the Robin story. Again, Chuck Dixon was the writer, and Gordon Purcell was the penciler.
Okay.
Didn't we just run into Gordon Purcell?
It sounds familiar.
Home for the Holidays, The Slab. Scott Beatty was the writer, and Damian Scott was the penciler. And Eye for Detail, Batlash story. Chuck Dixon again was the writer, and QQ Alcatena was the artist.
Great artist.
No Bart, There Is No Santa Claus, the Impulse story. Mark Wade and Devin Grayson were the writers. Craig Russo was the penciler.
Nice. Loved Craig.
And the DC Holiday pinup art by Sergio Oreganos. And colored by Tom Luth. And the cover was Rodolfo DiMaggio and Robert Campanella.
I was just every time Leo you read credits, I have to count how many of these people I'm just like, okay.
Sergio Aragonis.
Thank you.
I'm just sitting there listening to how he pronounces each.
Yeah,
one.
that was.
I always called it Oreganos.
He's like, I can do Mark Wade. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, I was like, I want to correct him, but I'll let the others do it. Ever going in,
Leo. We love you.
Just enjoy. It's my little gift to you.
Yes,
we love it.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So yeah. That's all three.
1, 2, and 3. So, did we get Drew's and Jar Jar's favorites?
Yeah, mine was the Impulse one.
And I'm Batlash because the art was just the best.
It was It was really good. Very, very clean. Very smooth. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So I guess
is that it?
Yeah, there was all three. I just figured we keep it light because we're getting near the end of 2022. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun read, a great thing to get you in the mood for a holiday, no matter what your holiday is, whether it's Christmas, Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah.
Yeah. So
DC really did a good job at
What about the spaghetti monster?
covering everybody.
no, that was
That's on IDW. That's a whole different.
whole different
Okay.
holiday special. So how do you guys want to rate these? Do you want to do
Candy
each issue at a time? I feel like that's probably better because they're all their own entities. What do you
I
want?
don't know, like, because
I
I
feel like
say each
collectively.
story is
Okay.
kind of more of its.
Each story? Wow, that could take an hour.
No. I'm not saying we do it that way. I'm saying like.
No, I like Velvets, collectively, because
Okay.
we all got something good out of everything. So,
Okay, that's fine. No
All
problem.
right, so let's do it in clockwork fashion, starting with the Captain, oh Captain.
I will give this a solid 4. It's a lot of nice stories, got us in mood for the holidays, and definitely introduced me to some characters I'm not that used to.
Again.
Jar Jar, did we lose you again? So yeah, solid 4.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna go with. I think it hit me a little more in the feels than a solid 4. I'm gonna go for a 4.18. Holly jolly balls of flaming Christmas.
Wow, I can't. That just a little bit more. I'm gonna go with Leo on it. I think it's a solid 4. I would definitely recommend it to someone. Like I said, it's again, you don't need to know all the characters. You can just appreciate good, simple storytelling. There's a little something for everybody. Some stand out more than others. Some you might relate to more than others. But it's the holidays, man. Everybody's different. So 4 for me.
And I think we lost Jar Jar. And Carrie, thanks. She says, I actually do have epilepsy, but don't worry, you weren't flipping anything too fast. Yeah, I was worried about flipping way too fast there. And Jar Jar, let me.
There was 2 Jeremys.
I'm so sick of this fucking internet.
I've had it up in here with this motherfucking Wi-Fi on this motherfucking call.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Are you
wired?
Are you doing wired or Wi-Fi?
I'm Wi-Fi.
Okay, maybe can you wire?
I can't wire. I'm like,
let's talk about that after the show.
Like, I got 500
Oh my god, you guys
bars
get
over
sidelined
here.
so easily.
Rating. Your rating.
Oh, rating. All right. I'm going to give it a 3.5. I love holiday stuff and it's great and all. But good Lord, that's a lot of anthology. And I need, when I'm reading like that, I need a bit of continuity with my life. And whew.
And it did not get that satisfaction. Okay.
No. But I did have fun with it. So it wasn't bad. And some of the outfits of yesteryear, I'm really just like, oh, you poor people.
We all had to come from somewhere, Jeremy.
I know.
All right. So
go back there.
So decently, like we'd recommend this to people if they want to read it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and if you want to go back to the 80s and 90s and play your tie, you do so. Don't let Jeremy turn you down. If you want big shoulder blades in your outfits, you get big shoulder blades.
I will say this, and Leo, before
wearing like Uggs.
Before you go, if Ty Templeton ever did a comic anthology of Christmas stories, I would buy and read that so hard.
Yeah.
That made me want to like search for more Ty Templeton stories.
Just those little like short 2-page. I would, yeah. Because there's so much in them.
Exactly.
I'm gonna give everybody a little bonus recommendation before we close things up.
Whoa.
Yeah. I just started rewatching Powerless.
Okay.
Don't know it.
That is such a friggin' underrated show.
Oh, is that the one where it's Bruce Wayne's cousin running the company?
Yeah,
that is a really good show.
Yeah, it was funny. The writing was pretty good on it, but it never caught on.
I didn't realize Starro's in the first episode.
I don't remember.
Oh my
I
God!
don't
no
remember
way.
that.
Yeah, you see him climbing up a building and he gets zapped and it's like Starro guts get thrown out the window.
I do remember it being funny though. I
Yeah.
love that actor there.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Well, it's Alan Tudyk, Ron Funches is
And
in
don't
it.
forget, don't forget Danny Petty, aka
Danny Petty.
Abed from Community's in there too.
Well, yeah, and he's also in Mythic Quest. I'm watching that right now too.
Of course he is. He just does so well on television.
And Alan Tudyk, who's the Joker in the Harley Quinn animated, and isn't he also
Mr. Nobody in
Resident Alien.
Resident Alien.
Oh, yeah.
Also, and,
Yeah, another comic book series.
he's like, he must be a geek because he does a lot of geek television.
Oh yeah, he like went to, didn't he go to Comic-Con? Like, no, that's never mind. Forget me. We'll wrap things up.
I won't. I will not forget you, Leo.
How could you forget me?
Don't you
With hair like this, you know?
forget Leo
That
Pond.
is, it's the Japanese anime of Leo.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. For me, just Google Leo Pond, but more importantly, you know, I run the Dorkening Podcast Network, so head on over to thedorkening.com, check those people out, and, you know, head on over to our YouTube, the Splash Pages YouTube. Link is in the comments. We've been putting up some awesome stuff there. And with that, Mr. Jar Jar.
Hey guys, check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction over on the Facebooks, where you can buy, sell, trade, and auction all of your wonderful comic books and toys and whatever other geek collections you may have. Also, check us out here every week at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays, and that's about it for now.
Yeah, go pick up your Spawn Batman tomorrow.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah, that.
Drew.
Don't you forget Splash Pages every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not sure about Central. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. I work for Screen Rant. I don't answer messages from strangers like you. But I'm sorry, I'm a simple mind.
Oh, love it, love it,
Thank
love
you.
it. Take us out there, my friend Velvet Joker.
Gotta love workshopping. Anyway, it's me, your man, Velvet J, here once again, Tuesday night. As the guy said, Splash Pages, the award-winning podcast where you have somehow tuned in right here till the end to see my pretty face. And anyway, so yeah, as Leo said, you should definitely check out the Splash Pages YouTube. Hit like and subscribe, motherfucker, subscribe.
Ghostbusters.
Or check out your man, Velvet J channel. You should definitely check that out. Or me on TikTok, Velvet Joker 1. You know where it's at. It's right here in your face all week long. See you next week. I think we're going to do a voiceover. It could be fun. It may not be. We'll see.
Yeah,
Oh my
Ghostbusters
God.
1984.
Oh my God, why I look like alfalfa. Let's end the show.
No, you're who's Steve Martin's friend there?
Martin Short.
Martin Short. Yeah, didn't he do?
Sure, yeah, he's like,
What's his name there?
yeah,
What was
that
the
character from
Flick?
SNL.
Is it Flick or
Flick? No, that's Jiminy Glick. That's a different character.
Jiminy? Okay.
No, everybody.
Same actor, different character.
He played the triangle.
Yeah, he did a cartoon with that
Yeah.
too. He had-
Ed Grimley.
Ed
No,
Grimley,
everybody.
That's it.
This is who I'm reminded of.
You're the heat miser.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're Mr. Hot.
I'm Mr. Heat
Miser. He's Mr. Snow. Da 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 da. Let's end the show right now before all my dignity has to go.